Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. This is our second episode, and we are here with Suhani Gupta, who is the founder of Neuro Health Alliance. Their goal is to bring more mental health awareness, including many topics such as body image, which is why we've invited her today. So now I'm going to just ask her a couple of questions. First, what inspired you to start your organization?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I think when it comes to the Neuro Health Alliance, what inspired me to start these efforts to basically raise awareness about mental health were my own struggles with mental health. I think that a lot of high schoolers can relate to academic pressures, but also the pressure that you feel from people around you, like your own peers, as well as your own family. So in my freshman year of high school, I struggled with a lot of bullying from my own peers that put me in a situation where eventually I ended up in a psychiatric hold, which is basically another word for it is a 5150. I basically, after coming out of that psychiatric hold, I wanted to make sure that no one else ever felt that way, which led me to start the Neuro Health Alliance.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna ask you like was there a specific moment or experience, but I think you kind of covered that already. So now kind of moving towards body image, how would you, like what are the most common body image issues you've seen like today, especially among youth and youth mental health?
I think one of the biggest things with body image is that sort of standard of what we see from a young age. I think one of the most fascinating things to me is like the way that we romanticize certain body types and we idealize these things of what we should be. Of course, it's never healthy to be obese or to be in these certain ranges, but at the same time, it's not unhealthy to be 125 pounds at the height of 5'2". Yet, so many girls nowadays, especially in high school, think that they have to be at about 100 pounds because of their childhood fiction stories. Like, if you look at Disney, for example, you will never see a mid-sized princess because
Mhm.
that's not what we saw when growing up. And so now that's not what we love, right? So personally, and also just across high school and even middle school or elementary school, it's really easy to see girls, especially, but also boys, being very insecure about their bodies and not comfortable being and expressing themselves because of those stereotypes that have been put out there in society.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, and I liked how you brought up the Disney princesses. I hadn't even thought about that until now, but it's like all kind of clicking. Another thing is, in your opinion, how do body image struggles impact mental health in the long run?
I think that they almost silently deteriorate your mental health. It's kind of like erosion because you don't always see the effects of not liking something. You could think, oh, I don't like my nose or I don't like my lips. You think, when I grow up, I'm going to get a nose job or something, one thing or the other. It could be something as small as, I think my ears protrude too much. Literally the most random things, or I think my hair is thinning too much. And over time, that starts to hack away at your mental health. And the more that you find those small things to not like, the more your mental health deteriorates. You stop seeing the good side of everything because all you really want to see are the negatives because that's what you've found comfort in seeing. It's almost like a type of psychology where the more and more insecurities you have, the more insecurities you will have. It's like a chain reaction. And so, honestly, when you have these stereotypes, you're going to have worse mental health. That's just the way it works.
I think you brought up some really good points with that. I'm kind of moving more towards social media specifically, like pertaining to body image. What role do you think social media plays in shaping how people feel about their bodies?
I think there's two big parts to it. There's, once again, like I said, those stereotypes, right? At an early age, when not all of us had access to social media, we saw it on the TV screen
Yeah.
or in magazines or books. Now, growing up, we have phones, so we see it on social media. Same thing, constantly perpetuating those stereotypes, ingraining it into our brains. What is someone that's pretty? Everyone wants to be pretty, regardless of your gender, your age, anything about you, you're going to want to fit those stereotypes you see on social media. The other part of it is if you're able to perpetuate certain stereotypes, you're able to sell things. You're able to sell, oh, protein powder, go to the gym, buy this, do this. It's a way to make money. It's basically propaganda, which means that you feeling insecure helps these big businesses profit.
Yeah. Another like thing kind of going off of this, how social media has been like negative to people's mental health. How can we be like more positive towards this? So more so, how can people protect their mental health while using social media?
I think the biggest thing will always be in your own mind. It's never like we're going to reach a point in society where we're going to say, oh, yeah, every body type is normalized. Like,
Mhm.
that'll never be the way it is. If you go back to Greek society or Greek goddesses, or even just back in any culture, there will always be some sort of body type that was preferred. Look at Aphrodite, look at statues that we have, right, in Europe. There's always some sort of body type that's preferred. So I'm not going to say that body types become normalized, but I think the most important way to face social media is in your mind to learn to accept yourself, to love yourself, and to know that as long as you're healthy, you are pretty. You are in this zone of being good enough. You are enough, regardless of what people online say, because half of that is going to be edited. It's not real.
Mhm.
So as long as you know that you're real, you're okay.
Yeah. I like how you brought that up because that's kind of our goal with Mindful Milestones is to create like a positive community within social media and like telling people like that they are enough and that um like to bring that positivity.